There is something in your yard right now that you planted yourself. You watered it this morning. You probably think of it as beautiful. You might have bought it because it brings color to your garden, or because it was on sale at the nursery and looked nice in the pot. And the birds in your yard have been eating parts of it. Most people know in a vague way that some plants are unsafe for birds, the way you know chocolate is bad for dogs. But what most people do not know is which plants, by name. The ones already in your yard. The ones you have been tending for years, without knowing what they were quietly doing to the animals you were also trying to protect. Today, 7 of them. Plants in almost every garden in North America. Plants sold at every nursery. Plants that birds land on, eat from, and in some cases, do not recover from. Stay until the end, because the last plant on this list is the one most bird lovers have in a pot on their porch right now.
Welcome back to the Avian Mind.
Subscribe before you leave. What we cover here is the part of backyard birding the field guides never tell you. Let's go. Number 1, lantana. Lantana is one of the most recommended plants for attracting birds. Vivid flowers, long blooming season, drought tolerant. Hummingbirds and butterflies visit the flowers constantly, and that part is fine. What most people do not know is that the berries are a completely different story. Lantana berries appear in clusters after the flowers fade. Small, dark, moving from green to black as they ripen. They look, to a bird, exactly like food. And the unripe ones contain lantadine, a hepatotoxin that targets the liver. In smaller birds that consume unripe berries in quantity, the effects include weakness, lethargy, and liver damage. The fix is simple. Deadhead the plant consistently. Remove berry clusters before they form. The flowers stay. The risk goes with them.
Number 2,
Morning glory. Morning glory climbs fences and trellises across North America every summer. Fast-growing, easy to establish, beautiful. It creates exactly the kind of vertical, layered cover that birds use for shelter. The vine is not the problem. The seeds are. Morning glory seeds contain lysergic acid amide, a compound chemically related to LSD. In birds, it causes disorientation and loss of coordination, impaired ability to fly, impaired ability to flee. A bird that cannot read its environment clearly, cannot navigate, cannot escape a predator. That is not a small harm. It is a bird made vulnerable in the exact moment it needs to protect itself. Remove the seed pods before they dry and split open. The vine stays. The seeds do not. Number 3, rhododendron and azalea. These are foundational plants in suburban landscaping. Large, excellent for cover, spectacular in spring. Sold by the millions at nurseries across the country every year. Every part of them contains Grayana toxins, compounds that interfere with the electrical signaling in nerve and muscle cells. The flowers, the leaves, the pollen, and the nectar. That last one matters. Hummingbirds visit rhododendron flowers. And while a single visit is unlikely to cause obvious harm, these are birds that may visit the same flowers daily throughout the bloom period. The research on cumulative exposure in hummingbirds is not complete. What is complete is the picture of the plant. Beautiful, genuinely useful for structure and cover, but not a safe food source. If hummingbirds visit yours regularly, you are worth knowing that the nectar they are drinking is not neutral. Number 4, foxglove. Foxglove is the tall, dramatic spire of tubular flowers that makes a garden look deliberately designed. It is also the plant from which digitalis was derived, the cardiac medication used in medicine for centuries. The compound that in controlled doses regulates an irregular human heartbeat is, in uncontrolled exposure, a cardiac toxin. Cardiac glycosides run through every part of foxglove: leaves, flowers, seeds, roots. The seeds are small and numerous, and they look exactly like food to a finch working through a dried seed head. The irony is that foxglove looks like the ideal native-style bird planting, and the flowers do attract hummingbirds. But the dried seed pods are a direct hazard to the ground-foraging birds, finches, sparrows, juncos, that spend the most time in a typical backyard. Remove the seed heads. Leave the spires. The plant earns its place. The seeds do not. Number 5. Wisteria. Wisteria is the vine that covers old porches and arbors and curtains of hanging purple flowers every spring. Once established, it tends to stay for decades. The seeds and pods contain wisterin, a glycoside with well-documented toxicity in veterinary medicine. Dogs and cats that consume wisteria seeds present with vomiting and lethargy. There is no reason to assume birds are exempt from the same mechanism. What makes wisteria a particular concern is the volume. A mature plant produces hundreds of pods in a single season. They hang in clusters, they persist through fall and into winter, and they are most visible exactly when food-desperate birds are most likely to investigate anything that looks like it might be edible. The flowers are safe. The pods are not. Remove them before they dry. The spring display is worth keeping. Number 6. Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley is a ground cover, low, spreading, shade-tolerant, with small white bell flowers in spring. Useful precisely because it grows where little else will. And every part of it is toxic. Cardiac glycosides, higher concentrations than foxglove, distributed through the entire plant, including the berries that appear in late summer, small, red-orange, and accessible to every ground-foraging bird in your yard. That is what makes this one different from the others. It occupies the level of your yard where robins, thrushes, and sparrows spend most of their time. A robin working through a bed of lily of the valley is moving through the plant, disturbing it and finding berries at exactly the level where it forages. This is the one plant on this list I would replace entirely. Native ground covers, wild ginger, creeping phlox, native sedge give you the same function with none of the risk. Number 7. Pothos. This is the one. Pothos is probably the most common houseplant in North America. Easy to keep alive, tolerates low light, grows in water or soil. Looks good in a hanging basket on a porch or a pot by the back door. If you have a porch where you sit and watch your yard, there is a reasonable chance you have a pothos within arm's reach right now. Pothos contains calcium oxalate crystals, microscopic needle-like structures embedded in the plant's tissue. When a bird contacts the sap from a broken stem, a chewed leaf, contact with damaged tissue, those crystals embed in soft tissue immediately. The result is intense swelling and irritation in the mouth and throat. Enough inflammation in a small bird to interfere with swallowing and breathing. The reason most people have never heard this is simple. Pothos is so universally thought of as harmless that the question never comes up. But the birds that are most comfortable near you, the ones that land on your railing, investigate the things on your porch, come closest because they have learned that near you is safe. Those are the birds most likely to encounter it. Move it inside, or replace it. The birds that have owned the closest spot to where you sit deserve a yard that is safe all the way to the edge of your chair. You built your yard to bring birds in. The feeder, the water, the plants chosen for cover and food and shelter. All of it done with care. This list is not here to make you feel like you have been failing them. It is here to give you something specific and actionable. 7 plants. Some of them you may not have. Some of them you do. And now you know what to do about it. The birds that come to your yard, the ones that stay when you step outside, the ones that have learned your face, they are there because something told them it was safe. Keep it that way. Tell me in the comments, which one surprised you most? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next.